Well, hello and welcome. I'm glad that you're with us as we continue our chronological read through of Scripture. It's almost time for the nation of Israel to enter the promised land, but there's a few last items of unfinished business to attend to. First, God will punish the Midianites and the prophet Balaam for intentionally leading the Israelites into idolatry and all other sort of sin. The nation of Israel will be God's chosen instrument to mete out this punishment, and the results are actually totally amazing. At God's command, Israel attacks those Midianites in their cities that were responsible and utterly defeats them. And in a clear sign that it's God who is guiding this, not a single Israelite is lost in battle. Now, realize they defeated 5 kings, they conquered many cities, and not a single person goes missing or is killed, at least on the Israelite side. There is yet one issue, though. The Israelites put to the sword all of the men, but they didn't kill the women, they didn't kill the children. When they returned, Moses was angry with them because they hadn't destroyed the women. After all, it was the women that carried out the devious plan to separate Israel from her God by enticing Israel away. So Moses had them kill all of the boys and all of the women who had slept with a man, leaving only the virgins to live and be absorbed into their community. Notice also the serious nature of the requirement that all who had been made unclean because of all the death of the campaign and its aftermath would be needed to be purified before they could re-enter the community. This was very, very important. Also note that when the spoils were divided, everyone was included. Half went to those who had fought, the other half went to the balance of Israel. Of the half that went to the soldiers, 0.2% was given to the priests. And of the half that went to the balance of Israel, 2% was given to the Levites. In this way, all of Israel participated in the blessing of God. I guess one final note on that particular section. When the commanders got together and realized that they hadn't lost a single man, they voluntarily gave their gold, about 420 pounds worth, as an offering to the Lord for his great blessing on their campaign. They wanted to thank God for the obvious and totally unexpected blessing that he had given them. So as Israel approaches the day of entry into the promised land, 2 of the tribes approach Moses with a proposal that they not take an inheritance in the promised land itself, but rather that they would remain east of the Jordan, because the land there was good for their cattle and their livestock. Moses was at first really very upset with that, because that brought back to him memories of the refusal some 40 years ago of the people to enter into the promised land. The 2 tribes and the half tribe of Manasseh, who eventually joined them in this plea, said that their men would gladly go with the rest of Israel into the promised land and fight side by side with their brothers until all had their inheritance, and they would then return to their homes east of the Jordan, and only then. Satisfied that they were not interested in getting out of the task of defeating those who were already in the land, Moses agreed to their request and firmly charged them, because Moses knew that he wouldn't be there when they crossed. He firmly charged them to do everything that they had committed to doing. Well, again, I pray that your reading is that you are learning a lot in your reading and that you're growing. It's your faith that's being strengthened. Look forward to gathering with you again tomorrow. We will see you then.